Well, welcome home, Gordon.
Well, thanks, Ed. I'm really excited to tell you about my little road trip.
I know you left in search of answers about Navigant Consulting. That company the Dugard administration has paid over $250,000.
Yes. I drove to their office in Plankinton to find out just what they're doing with all that money.
Why Plankinton? Don't they have offices in Mitchell and Yankton?
Yes, they do. Also offices in Massachusetts, Washington, D.C., and some very interesting places even overseas. The reason I drove to Plankinton, it's the closest office to where I was.
Well, there isn't much in Plankinton. It must be a pretty small office.
Not really, Ed. It's actually a newer building with lots of people in it. I talked to them, asked them some questions, and I took some pictures while I was there, so you can see for yourself. You see all the cars in the parking lot? Those belong to people who are very busy working on, well, something. Now, I could only find one door on the whole building. That was kind of interesting to me. Here's a picture of the front door.
What's the deal with the sign that says ring bell for deliveries?
I'm not sure what kind of deliveries they get, but the door was locked. A very nice young lady let me in. So I asked to speak to the manager, and while I was waiting, I took a few more pictures. She took my card back to the manager, and after a few minutes came back to tell me the manager was very busy. She was on the phone. I said I'd be happy to wait. She said the manager had just taken the call, so it would be a while. I assured her I'd be happy to wait. The manager did have time to tell her that I should send an email. I told her again I'd be happy to wait. She said it was going to be a very long call. I said I didn't mind. She told me the manager would probably be on the phone until 5 o'clock. I said I didn't mind waiting, but she insisted the manager would rather I send her an email. So I looked at her and just said, she really doesn't want to talk to me, does she?
Oh, you really catch on quick, don't you?
Well, some people think so. The receptionist was really very nice, but didn't know anything about Obamacare, I mean the PPACA, or the PPACA money. You know, the money that Navigant has, I mean Alleviant. It's so confusing. There's so many names. Alleviant got the money from the governor's office. You know, the $260,470. In fact, when I started asking questions, Ed, everyone in the whole place seemed to disappear. It was like a trip to the Grand Magic Show. I don't think anyone wanted to talk to me.
Maybe it was something you said, like the PPACA.
Maybe.
So did you email the manager?
You know, I did. I sent the email to Jennifer Tonies, the manager of Alleviant. She's a CPC, you know.
What's a CPC?
Well, I'm not really sure, but I am sure it must really be important. Nobody shared that information with me either. But here's the email I sent to her. I asked her some simple questions. Let me read them to you. Here's the first one. Can you tell us specifically, Navigant Consultant Alleviant, Alleviant, what are they doing? Or what have they done with the $260,470 paid by the state of South Dakota as part of the PPACA grants from the federal government? The second question, has your organization worked with other states on any PPACA-related projects? And has all the money received from the state of South Dakota been spent already? And the last question, why does your organization now have 3 locations in South Dakota?
Well, has Jennifer from Alleviant, did I get that right?
You got it.
Answered your email yet?
No, she didn't, Ed. Apparently, a CPC isn't qualified to talk to me about the PPACA. She had somebody else respond to me, somebody from Navigant, located on, get this, Wacker Drive in Chicago, Illinois. You couldn't write this kind of stuff, could you? I don't think she is a CPC, but she must be pretty important since the CPC sent me to her.
Yes, but she must know where all the governor's Obamacare money is being spent.
Well, if she knows, she isn't saying. Here's what she did say. Dear Mr. Howie, your recent email inquiry was forwarded to my attention. Unfortunately, we're not able to respond to your questions. Please contact me going forward if you should have any other requests of Navigant. And I love this part. At the bottom of the email it says this communication is subject to and incorporates by reference additional disclaimers found in Navigant Consulting's email disclaimer section at the Navigant.com website. And then below that it says Navigant Consulting, company registration number UK Limited 3641719, registered in Delaware, USA. Registered office is on Wacker Drive in Chicago, Illinois.
Well, but that's disappointing. Doesn't anyone know what this company is, what they're doing in South Dakota, what they have 3 offices, and how they are spending the governor's Obamacare money?
That's what I wondered, Ed. So on my way out of town, I stopped at the convenience store. That's where you go when you want to find something out, you know. And so I stopped at the convenience store. Even though nobody there knew much about this Obamacare money, they seemed happy to talk to me, and no one was on the phone. Actually, I learned more about Alleviant, at the convenience store than I did from the company's CPC and their registered headquarters. I'm not sure who can help us find out where all this money for Obamacare is going in South Dakota.
Maybe you should call our old friend Matt in the governor's office. Or maybe I'll call the governor's chief of staff, Dusty Johnson.
Good idea.
Somebody must know how this money is being spent.
Well, good luck, Ed. I just hope you're happy with the music when you're put on hold.